Shalom, first and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Barak Kwadash. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the brothers that are doing this work in truth and sincerity. And we're going to jump right into the lesson. This is Jeremiah 7 and 4. And it says, "Trust ye not in lying words, saying the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord are these." Because you have individuals that try to put themselves as men of the Lord, as sons of the Most High, as prophets and teachers. And they know all the right words to say, and they know all the right precepts to bring out. But when you look at their behavior and their treatment of those around them, then you see the falsehood. But to the naive and to the unexperienced, they have these men convinced that these are men of the Lord. And most of the time, what these men will do, they'll take advantage of the naive. They'll take advantage of the simple. They take advantage of the generous. They'll take advantage of the merciful to their own benefit, for their own survival. So that's why the scripture says to prove a friend. Let's go ahead and get that. It says, if thou wouldst, we'll get that right here. Sirach 7 and 6 and 7. It says, if thou wouldst get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. So be not hasty to think that he's what he say he is. Every man has to prove his own self, prove his own work, prove his own character, his own integrity, his own personality, his own standing, his own sincerity within this truth. It says, for some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of trouble. So that's what it says there. It says, for some man is a friend for his own occasion. He'll play that role for you just so he can get what he needs from you. Whether he needs your money or he needs something else from you, he'll submit and kiss the hand. He'll play the role of your friend. He'll play the role of a guy that's gonna do what he says. He's gonna do what he says. Do what he open to you. But what you'll find out is there's a lot of insincere people. It says, if thou wouldst get a friend, prove first, and be not hasty to credit him. You got to look at the history of that man. You got to look at what he does and how he handles his affairs in his business. It says, for some man is a friend for his own occasion and will not abide in the day of trouble. And there was a friend who, being turned to enmity and strife, will discover thy reproach. Again, some friend is a companion at the table, and will not continue in the day of thy affliction. So when you're not doing, when they're not doing good, and you are, then they want what you got. But when you're in a position where you're not doing good, they're gonna say that they can't help you, or they'll just won't even forget about you at all. It said, but in thy prosperity he will be as thyself, and we bold over thy servants. Thou be brought low, he'll be against thee, and will hide himself from thy face. Separate thyself from thy enemies and take heed of thy friends. So you got to be careful of how you deal with not only people in the world, but also your family members. And you got to be careful who you're taking heed to, because a lot of these jakes, they're deceived by these false teachers and these false prophets. They think that these men have their best interests at hand. Going back to Jeremiah 74, they say the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord. They speak in it. They speak in all the right words, and it sounds good, and it sounds holy, and it sounds righteous. But when you dig deeper into those things, you see that these motherfuckers were off, man. That they got ulterior motives. It says, for ye thoroughly amend your ways and your doings, if ye roughly execute judgment between a man and his neighbor, if you oppress not the stranger and fatherless and the widow, and shed not innocent blood in this place, neither walk after other gods, you're hurt. Then will I call you on the place that I landed, I give your fathers forever and ever. So it takes more than just agreeing with the doctrine. You know, it takes a whole change of character. It takes a whole repentance towards your acts and behaviors, and turning towards righteousness in the Lord. It says, "But ye behold, ye trust in lying words that could not profit." You know, and those lying words are Christianity. You know, if you ever been to a Christian church, man, you know, you first go in that motherfucker and hey, they're gonna have big old smiles on their face, man. You know, they're gonna say like, "Yeah, you're home, man, brother." You're gonna be like that, man. You know, this is the place for you, and you know, you gotta sign up for this, and you know. But they have lying words. You know, everybody does this, and everybody comes together into that. But if you look at these Christian churches, man, there's a lot of the corruption and wickedness going on in them. Especially the Christian churches run by Jake, on both the northern and the southern kingdom side, both the black, Latino, the Latino Native American side and the black, so-called black side. You know, you got adultery, that's heavy. You got greed, you got corruption. You know, you got a covering up of things. You know, you got all that bullshit going on. But what do they say? They say the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord are these. You know, and so the point of the lesson is you got to be wary of who you're dealing with, man. You got to be wary of who you're taking heed to, and you got to be wary of who you trust. Like it says in Sirach, you know, you're supposed to prove a friend, man. You know, so you gotta through experience and through trial and error, you gotta bring yourself to a level of discernment to know what and what not to do around certain individuals, around certain people. You know, because we have had a so-called different men of the truth, which are now no longer. The Lord ultimately found them out and cast them out, where they put on the persona of being a friend, and they only done that for their own benefit. They only done that so they can get what they need from a man for their own self-survival, for their own profit, for their own situation, for their own self-preservation. You know, and it's not about that. It's about sacrifice. You know, the scriptures talk about sacrificing one for another, preferring one another. You know, not putting yourself above another man, and using your position and your clout, Salakia, to your advantage. You know, we've seen that happen as well. But like I said, ultimately the Lord, He finds out these men, and He casts them out, man. You know, and that goes everything. You know, you get these telemarketers calling you, and they pretend to have some super deal of a lifetime for you, to your benefit, and ultimately just to take your money, take your wallet. You know, you'll meet women, and you know, they pretend to have a liking towards you, and ultimately they just want you to get see what they can get from you. You know, niggas in the world, man. You know, you know, the same thing. You know, when you were in the world, you probably had experience with individuals that done shit. You know, they were wicked and scamming and scheming like that, or you probably was one of them. You know, where your main goal was to put on the fakeness to get up over on somebody else, to take another man's woman, or to take another man's pockets, or to use another man for what he got. And that's the culture today, man. That's the culture of the 2/3. You know, there's no, you know, they start talking about loyalty among thieves. There is no loyalty among thieves. You know, Jake likes to involve himself in he likes to be big in the gang culture, especially the so-called Mexican American. You know, so because he believes that he's fighting for a cause, for his people. But when you look into the depths of these organizations, you know, you see that it's all about self-gain and money. And they use a propaganda to trick youngsters into going along with that program. Because the youngsters, they're looking for father figures. And when they see older men, giving them some type of approval or acknowledgement, and they take advantage of that, man. I've seen that happen as well. So you got to be wary of individuals out here. The only one that you can really trust is the brothers that you do the work with. Everybody else, you got to be very wary of. You got to be wary of everyone you meet. And like I said, even men of the truth. You gotta, cause we had individuals like that who put on an air of someone to be trusted. You thought that person had integrity within himself, and you thought you was going off for doubting that integrity. But when all the facts came to light, your assumption was right. That man did have no integrity. That man was false. That man was a liar. That man was just about getting his own. I always remember the words that Elder Yashawamba said. He said that in this truth you meet the best and the worst of people, and I experienced both, man, in this truth. For the few years that I've been in it. So I'm gonna jump down to verse 8. He said, "Behold, ye trust in lying words that cannot profit. Will you steal, murder, commit adultery, and swear falsely, and burn to Baal, and walk after other gods whom you know not, and come and stand before me in this house, which is called by my name, and say, we are delivered to do all these abominations. And this house, which is called by my name, became a den of robbers in your eyes, but even I have seen it, says the Most High." So the Lord saw all that, man. The Lord sees all this corruption. The Lord saw all the, what do you think Yahweh Shai ran out the what's the account of the scriptures? The money changers. He said, "You have made my father's house to a den of thieves." Go ahead and get that, because that shit was going on in those days. And as we continue in this truth, you're going to see more and more of that in these organizations. These organizations, they're being brought to light. They're being exposed. These are Sakaris and ISUPKs and IUICs. They're going to get exposed, man. The Lord's going to bring all that bullshit to light. This is Matthew 2 and 21 and 13. Salak. Matthew 21 and 13. And I'll start at verse 12. It said, Matthew 21 and 12, Yahweh Shai went into the temple of Yahweh and cast out all them that sold and brought in the temple, and overthrew the tables and the money changers and the seats of them that sold doves, and said unto them, It is written, my house should be called the house of prayer, but ye have made it a den of thieves. And the blind and the lame came to him in the temple, and he healed them. And when the chief priests and scribes saw the wonderful things that he did, the children cried in the temple, saying, Hosanna, the son of David. They were sore displeased. Because they weren't getting their way anymore. They went for the healing of the people. And that's what the word's supposed to do. The word, when it's preached correctly and properly, and truth and sincerity, and the right doctrine, it heals the people, man. This binds the wounds, of the people, spiritually. Going back to Isaiah, the first chapter, you are stricken. Go ahead and get that. Isaiah, the first chapter, where is it at? Yeah, this is 0, 1, and 5. This is the sixth state of Israel. It says, why should you be stricken anymore? You revolt more and more. The whole head is sick. The whole heart is faint. From the sole of the foot even to the head, there's no silence in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They're not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. They're not healed, man. They're not in that position to be healed because of men's unrighteous dealings. And it says here the Lord got angry. It says And Yahweh Shai and temple, and Yahweh cast all them out. Cast out all them that sold and brought in the temple, and lowered through the tables and money changers, the seats of them that sold those. So he caused the scene, so to speak, man. You know, he wasn't with the bullshit that was going on. You know, he wasn't permissive of it. He wasn't going to be tolerant of it. And as we go on with these days, you know, the Lord's going to expose all this bullshit. He's going to start overthrowing things. He's going to start putting people to death. He's going to start exposing everything. He's going to start making sure these individuals get theirs, man. And that's a scary thing. Salakia. That's a scary thing. You know, because the Lord is an austere man. And if you read the parable of the talents, he ain't going to put up with no bullshit. It's going to be live and direct, man. It's going to be in your face. It's going to be what it is. You know, you got to always remember that, you know, that the works that we do, they're always being acknowledged and viewed and reported on by the angels. You know, Scripture says his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. That's the Lord's angels reporting things unto him. You know, so nothing goes hidden. Everything gets uncovered, and the Lord's gonna stop the bullshit. Not only with our people, because it says in Zechariah, belief. Go ahead and get that. She will search Jerusalem with candles, but also with these Edomites. Zephaniah 1:12 should come to pass at time. I will search Jerusalem with candles. He's like Yahweh Shai in the temple overthrowing the money changers. He's gonna search out Jerusalem as well, and punish the men that are settled on their lees. They say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will do evil. Because these men that sold in the temple, they were just nothing was going on happening to them for what they was doing. They thought everything was cool. And like I said, we had different men in this truth where they just continued on some bullshit because they were in a position of authority, and they thought since they were in that position of authority that nothing was going to happen to them, that they can treat brothers like shit and dig into brothers' pockets and things like that, man. But ultimately, the Lord got on their ass, man. It says, and punish the men that are settled on their lees, that say in the heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. Therefore their good shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them. They shall plant vine, but not drink the wine thereof. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hastens greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. You know, so all that tough talk and all that puffing out of your chest and all that bullshit, you know, thinking you're the man, it's all gonna fucking cease, man. You know, thinking you got it all figured out, thinking that you know more than the apostles, you know more than the elder Tahar. All that's gonna fucking cease. That it's okay to side with Esau and take the fucking juicy juice and if you put the fucking RFID chip in your ass cheek, then that's cool too. But not, you can always take it out. Just all kinds of bullshit like that, man. You know, going back to Jeremiah, the temple of the Lord are these. You know, talking like the Lord told you that, like the Lord saying that. When you know it's false, man. You know, every man's sincerity will be tried. You know, that's a very scary thing. That should make your heart beat fast, man. You know, every man's words will be judged. The Scripture says that behold, I come quickly, I'll judge you according to thy works, whether they be good or be evil. Go ahead and get that. There's Revelation 22 and 12. Well, also, I'll read all of them because they're all good. So Revelation 3 and 11, behold, I come quickly, and once again, you're the words of bread, the words of Yahweh Shai. Revelation 3 and 11, behold, I come quickly, hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. You know, so you're responsible for your own integrity. You can't blame your lack of integrity on the next man. You know, you can't blame your lack of integrity on the elders or camp leaders or nothing. You know, what does the scripture say? It says, seek out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You know, the apostle always say that you know, we can't save you, so to speak. You know, they don't even know if they're saved. They said they speak in that manner. That's very humble. But you're not going to see these other camp leaders talk like that. They're going to say, you know, follow General whatever the fuck his name is. If you don't follow General, I forgot the name of it, but he calls himself a General. General Johanna, something like that. He's not important anyways. Unless you're gonna be following this dude and you're not, you know, you ain't with it, you know. You know, unless you're following this way, then you ain't in the real deal. You ain't, you know. The apostles don't say that, man. They say to search out and study the things they say to see if they're true, like the search of Berea. But I'm gonna read it again. Behold, I come quickly, hold fast with thy hands, that no man take thy crown. Revelation 22:7. Behold, I come quickly, blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of this prophecy and of this book. Revelation 2:12. Behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give a man according as his work shall be. You know, so they be careful, man. Acknowledge what it is. Acknowledge the level of seriousness this holds, man. You know, you're dealing with the power of the universe. You know, that's the last thing you want, the power of the universe to have any type of grievance with you. That's the last thing you want, man. Because there ain't no escaping that. You know, so always be repenting, man. Always be praying. Always be checking your own sincerity. Always be checking your own integrity. But with that being said, it's a real quick lesson. Just a few scriptures here at the plantation. Most High will, hope is edifying that give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Call Allah Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Brothers, keep on pushing. Shalom.